And we welcome you to Wish Field at Cacciatore Stadium on the campus of DePaul University in the Lincoln Park neighborhood of Chicago. Today it's the first Big East soccer matchup in the conference season between the visiting Villanova Wildcats and the hometown DePaul Blue Demons. And welcome in, everybody. My name is Jordan Burnfield. Thanks so much for joining us for some Big East soccer this afternoon. The two teams out on the field and getting set to go. Villanova coming into today's game 4-2 on the season. The Blue Demons come in at 3-3. And both teams coming off of defeats, hoping to get things going yet again today. In the last few years when these two teams have met, we've seen some real good games, so we're expecting something like that today. There's one of our key players for today's game, and that's Max de Bruyne, who is the senior defender and leading scorer for the DePaul Blue Demons. He's trying to lead his team to a special Big East season in his final year in Lincoln Park as they get set to begin today. And on the other side, there's the Villanova Wildcats, a team that's transitioned some players in. They have a young team, but also a few senior leaders. And the man that you got to see is the man in the neon yellow. That is the goalkeeper, Carson Williams. Carson Williams, the reigning Big East goalkeeper of the week. One of the keys to this team, and head coach Tom Carlin for Villanova said he's one of the three most important players that they have going for them this season. And so the Villanova Wildcats coming off back-to-back defeats after scoring 5 goals in their season opener against Delaware. They have played 1-0 matches all the rest of the way. So hoping to generate some offense in this match this afternoon. On the flip side, the Villanova, or the DePaul Blue Demons, I should say, coming off of a chippy affair that they had against the UIC Flames back on Tuesday. So we'll see if they're able to get things going today and get back into the win column under second-year head coach Mark Plotkin. So the DePaul Blue Demons come out in their white uniforms and Villanova in their road navy tops with the light blue surrounding it. It's a beautiful day here in the city of Chicago, 82 degrees, and it will be sunny through the duration of this game. Taking a look now at the starting lineups. This is DePaul's lineup today with Drew Nelly, the keeper, back in net. Both Iskra brothers will start today. Mark Plotkin did mention that Matthew Brickman would get a start, so he's in there at one of the midfield spots. Zach El Shafai, another guy you got to watch for. He has a goal already this season for the DePaul Blue Demons and is one of their veterans, the senior out of Ontario, and expected to have another big year for this Blue Demons team. And so now we'll get to the Villanova lineup in just a second, but our game is underway as the match begins and the ball rolls out of bounds, and Villanova will trigger it in. And so the Villanova Wildcats have been an outstanding defensive team so far this year, and that is something to watch for. This game may be one of those where you have two teams that, frankly, will try to pack things in defensively and pick their spots in terms of the offensive game, as both these teams have really tried to make their calling card defense. And as Tom Carlin, the head coach of Villanova, said, you're always trying to find goal scorers in college soccer. You see Liam McKinnon in the middle of your screen, 22 in dark blue. He's been the best offensive player thus far for Villanova. And the DePaul Blue Demons coming off that tough loss at UIC on Tuesday. It was a 4-1 defeat. The Blue Demons come into today's game, as you see a whistle is going to come in on that play and a foul, so DePaul triggers it back in. The Blue Demons losing 4-1 at UIC on Tuesday. Their prior match was a 4-2 loss at Loyola. They've been better here at Wish Field. They did lose a game earlier in September against Vermont, a 1-0 defeat, but they picked up victories over Northern Illinois and Wheaton, and in the exhibition season. Both on this field here in Lincoln Park. Beautiful day, and one thing that is always true at Wish Field, because you have the L tracks right behind the field, the Fullerton stop, is you typically have some noise. The band is here today. They've got music often playing, and coaches that visit this field often do note how it can be challenging to play here at DePaul. And so now that ball coming in on net, but offsides, and so it'll be kicked back out. Both keepers in that neon, and both wear the number 1. Drew Nelly, the redshirt sophomore from St. Louis who transferred from Indiana, back between the pipes for this DePaul team. Grew up a lot last year. But Carson Williams, the goalkeeper for Villanova, has really been outstanding. 4 shutouts already this season, but has been on the wrong side of the last 2 matches in which Villanova has dropped both by a 1-0 score. So Villanova trying to get it back across the field. And now DePaul has controlled the ball, and they've got it in their own end, trying to cycle it and get it out. Jake Feuderer kicking it across midfield. Yusuf Ramadan on the field as well, the sophomore transfer from St. Louis University. Ramadan, a native of Huntley, Illinois. Feuderer from Glenview, both suburbs of Chicago, and have come here to DePaul to try to help Mark Plotkin, the former Blue Demons player, turn things around. As there's a whistle. Down on the play went Danny Iskra, the freshman from Northbrook. And now DePaul will try to get it across. Both these teams talking about how defensively they really want to be tightened up. The Villanova team, the key for them, Luca Meller, Carson Williams, the keeper, and Shane Bradley, one of their twin senior defenders. And Tom Carlin, the head coach of Villanova, has said that those 3 guys are really the key. And there's Williams, and he sends it right out to Shane Bradley, who will try to send it across for Villanova. And a great defensive team. Both these clubs have made that their calling card, and so you figure that you may see a pretty low-scoring affair in this one this afternoon. Now comes back into the DePaul end, where they're controlling. Kicked back through and taken away by the visiting Wildcats. Villanova has dropped 2 in a row. Same thing is true of DePaul. Villanova, though, feels like it played pretty well. They lost a 1-0 match against Penn State. Their last one, they lost to defending national champion Maryland by a 1-0 defeat. Sometimes in college soccer, as head coach Tom Carlin said for Villanova, you can play a real good game and the score doesn't always match the performance. And he felt like his team did a great job in that one, just could not come up with a victory. And now Liam McKinnon will kick it across the field and long, where Drew Nelly will go grab it. Here the L go by on this beautiful sun-soaked afternoon in the city of Chicago. Our officials for today: Khalaf Al-Latife and Colin Bell and Jamie Walter, along with Mike Oliver. So that's triggered out by Nelly, and now DePaul will try to advance it to midfield. Timmy Iskra gets it back to Max De Bruyne. And Max, the senior, kicks it across midfield. Buter trying to get around his defender, but that one's taken away. And then hit out. Both teams here in this early part of the match just trying to get something going on the attack. Both teams feel that their attacks can be improved. As far as DePaul is concerned, hoping for a better showing in Big East play than a season ago in the first season under second-year head coach Mark Plotkin. It went 5-9-3 overall, but 2-5-2 in Big East play. For Villanova last year, they started with a 7-8-2 record, and they went 2-6-1 in the Big East. In fact, these two clubs, it's a corner kick coming from Richie Schlentz. These two clubs picked to finish the bottom two spots in the Big East so far. And the corner kick is caught by Nelly. And so the first real opportunity goes to Villanova, and Nelly able to make the save. DePaul reverses field, trying to get it upfield. They get it nearly to midfield, but knocked out. Timmy Iskra was trying to advance that ball. And now triggered back in. De Bruyne will send it across the field to Dan Iskra, the freshman, younger brother of Tim. Now Matt Brickman back to Anderson, who sends it off. And DePaul able to get it across midfield for the moment, but it's taken away by Villanova. Richie Schlentz will slow it down. Shane Bradley. And now Villanova gets it back across the field. Kind of an exciting opportunity. Villanova and DePaul, both teams have a pair of brothers that are going to make big impacts on the team this year. Villanova fans know quite well Shane and Connor Bradley, the twin seniors, who are always going to be a package deal. Best of friends, both on the field and off it. But as head coach Tom Carlin said about those two, that because they play different positions, you're not always going to see them have that sort of chemistry that you might think would be the cliche for two brothers on the field because they're in different roles. However, they are both players who we're always going to want to play together. They're from the Philadelphia area, from nearby Havertown, and they really enjoyed playing together. On the flip side for DePaul, Timmy Iskra, now a junior in this DePaul program, but Dan Iskra, the freshman, now into the program, and their head coach Mark Plotkin, a lot of fun things to say about those two guys, that they have been a joy to coach and that they're so competitive with one another that it really makes for sort of a fun dynamic within the team. And in fact, with the two Iskras back in the offseason during the summer, they had conditioning drills, and at that time, when Danny and Timmy were asked how they were going to do, there's now a player down on the field. That is Braden Calipari, but he appears to be okay. He'll trigger the ball back in from midfield. As those Iskras were getting ready for their fitness tests, Danny said, all I want to do is do one better than Timmy. It's the only thing that I care about. And now DePaul on the attack. And a kick from Ramadan is ricocheted off a defender and comes right back to Carson Williams. Then when those Iskra brothers were in a preseason bowling tournament, which you think might be just a event. No, not for these two. Timmy got the win over his younger brother and definitely was going to make sure that he knew about it for the rest of the evening while the team went out to bowl. But certainly a nice dynamic to add those guys together on this roster. And so we'll watch as the pairs of brothers play with each other and against the others in today's match between these two clubs. Now DePaul into the Villanova end. And on the attack, the kick from Peter, and it's knocked away by Williams. Carson Williams had a 5-game shutout streak come to an end against Penn State. Just 2 matches ago. I mentioned that Villanova has lost back-to-back matches by a 1-0 score, but Villanova team receiving votes in the top 25. Pretty amazing when you consider that they were picked to finish at the bottom of the Big East Conference. But you ask people around Villanova, they've said that they believe that this is a team that can be better than certainly the prognosticators thought, but also that within the team, they don't talk about it, they don't worry about it. It's something that has not been a focus for players on this roster in the early part of the season, and they hope that really shows conference play. Transitioning a little bit because you've got some young players mixing in with some veterans on the team, but 18 in the dark blue, that is Josh Belouz, and the freshman from Ontario has been really impressive for Villanova so far. Tom Garland says he calms the team down and obviously has great size at 6'4". I really like what he's going to be able to become. Kicked across into the offensive side, but DePaul able to quickly get it back towards midfield. Hustling and kicking it out is Matt Brickman, a sophomore out of Buffalo Grove, Illinois. And now Villanova will trigger it back. It's kicked back to Carson Williams and then back to Shane Bradley, who will figure out where he wants to go with this. Belouz able to get around charging El Shafai at midfield. Now they reverse field. Bradley goes to Richie Schlentz. Towards the corner. Headed out, Brayden Calipari.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna see if there's like something else that we can attach it to.
That's not gonna, this cable won't reach.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. All right.
I don't need it, so let me just take it off right now. Are you sure? Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you unscrew this?
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. Let's just take this off. There. Now I shouldn't bump it. All right. Sweet. Yeah, because that was the issue. Whenever I went this way, I would bump it.
Yeah.
You can just leave it up here.
No, yeah. I was just gonna hold on just in case.
It forward. Maya McKinnon was trying to kick it towards the middle. That's knocked away by De Bruyne. A senior out of the Netherlands. Was a Big East all-freshman selection. Has been on the Big East academic team, on the Big East weekly honor roll. Several honors for Max De Bruyne, who's had a very nice career for the DePaul Blue Demons. Another whistle and a foul is called.
Here we go, Wade. What's he supposed to do, Russ?
Wentz will set it up.
Not jump?
He'll kick it in.
That was shoulder to shoulder, clearly.
Zach El-Shafai closest to the ball. He waits back. Along with Brickman. Schlentz looks towards the middle. It's knocked away. Now Paul will have an opportunity again on defense. Set back in. All knew that today defensively they were going to have to play well. Foul ball. This DePaul team a little bit short-handed. Typically, you see David Gripman, the freshman, in the lineup, started the first 4 games of the season. He is out for the year with a torn ACL. That was suffered in the game against Drake. Jacob Cito, their sophomore from Australia by way of Coastal Carolina, he's out for today's game. Took a red card on Tuesday against UIC. And Isaac Frent is banged up. The Indiana transfer with a little bit of a knee issue after the game against UIC on Tuesday. So DePaul knew that defensively it was going to have a staunch effort. Into the 18, but then quickly kicked out. And out. Iskra wants to get it in quickly, and he will. Boynia now finding Brickman across midfield as DePaul tries to set something up. On the run, Futerer has an opportunity, but Williams there to scoop it up. Already more than 20 minutes gone by in this match between DePaul and Villanova. And no score here on Big East Digital Network. Villanova trying to get the ball out of DePaul's end, or out of their own end rather, and now brings it into DePaul's. McKinnon on the run with De Bruyne, but a whistle. And it's going to go back to the Blue Demons. Nelly will get a free kick. Instead, just hands it off, and DePaul will try to get it back out. Gorgeous day here in Chicago for these two teams in the Big East opener. Some contact there and no call. Villanova trying to reverse field. And now there's a player down on the field for the Blue Demons.
I don't.
He's not going to get the parking validated.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Alejandro might
Let's
have
take
it.
a look. In from behind came Shane Bradley on that play. And now here comes the first big opportunity today for DePaul. Phi looks like he's going to get the kick. And he sails it high, but right to Williams. And right at the right post. Keeps this game knotted at zeros. First real chance for DePaul. And a hard shot from El Shafai. Now here is Anderson, one of the freshmen for DePaul that Coach Mark Plotkin really likes. In his second year has lauded the abilities of these young players that have been brought into the program and certainly values the older guys on this team, but the young guys, Plotkin really likes the future of this DePaul program. Came in last year really wanting to accentuate what he felt each of his players did well. Sometimes when a new coach will come into a program to try to quote-unquote rebuild, they often are looking for one particular skill set from certain guys to try to mold a program in that way. Mark Plotkin said that his strategy was to try to make all these players better at what they were already good at. El Shafai tries to send one towards the net, but that one is blocked and out of bounds off of the shoulder of Shane Bradley. So DePaul trying to get close here on Villanova here early and showing some good energy.
Right after this game, more DePaul sports action in the Grant Phillips Arena tonight.
And now with 18:39 remaining in this first half of play, the clock is stopped and we have time as both teams head back towards their respective benches to talk things over. Let's take a look at this defensive play here. El Shafai trying to shake Belouz and then tried to bomb that one from the right side inside the 18, but a real nice play by Shane Bradley, who was part of the Villanova team back in 2016 that went to the NCAA tournament. Quick timeout. No score between DePaul and Villanova here on the Big East Digital Network.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
To know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
and you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here, we do.
What is a Villanovan? In 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders and these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
Well, after a quick timeout, we return to Wish Field here at Cacciatore Stadium on the campus of DePaul University. I'm Jordan Burnfield. Thanks so much for joining us for this Big East opening match between DePaul and Villanova. 18:40 left on the first half clock. No score at this point. DePaul has had 4 shots, 2 on goal. Villanova has yet to get one, despite a corner kick earlier in this match. DePaul with 4 fouls so far, Villanova with 8. Already a couple of offsides penalties that have stalled Villanova from an offensive standpoint. And Carson Williams has had to face 4 shots and made 2 saves, and now there's a player down on the field, and that is Liam McKinnon, who you definitely don't want to see get hurt. He's been the best offensive player for Villanova all year. He and Feuderer both went up on a header. And then, yep, there you see Feuderer's hand with momentum whacked McKinnon in the face. But he appears to be just fine. I wouldn't want to get hit there either. And so McKinnon okay, but he's been their best scorer for Villanova. Already 8 points on the season, the leading goal scorer with 2, the leading assist man. He's got 4 and 18 shots already this year. So he is the guy from an offensive standpoint that you would not want to see come out for any reason if you are Villanova. So 22 in blue, certainly a critical player on the field today. And now a whistle after player goes down for DePaul, and Anderson, one of the freshmen, will restart play. DePaul with it in its own end, trying to send it out again. They've been pretty impressive offensively here early on, which I'm sure Mark Plotkin would be very happy to see. His team definitely taking strides after that first season, and with a new coach and a new system, it can always be a little bit difficult in the early going, but Plotkin feeling pretty good about where his team is going. And what he believes they can be. Says that they're better this year on defense and they're better on the ball. And really lauded Max De Bruyne and the way that he has led this team as he's got the ball right now between two Villanova players and kicks it back over midfield, but says not only has he grown into that leadership role over time, but has grown as a man. He's a very positive guy. He's always challenging players. And he says that what he likes the most maybe about De Bruyne from a personality standpoint is that he has great belief and he's always fighting out there, and that he will make sure to be more vocal now with his teammates to make sure everyone's in the right spots and doing the things that they need to have as much success as they can on the field every day, despite knowing that there is some transition with this team, and has really enjoyed being able to coach him. Villanova spent a pretty good time in DePaul's end here early, but they still have not gotten a shot on goal. And now a foul, and quickly Anderson kicks it across field where Iskra will send it over midfield. And now McKinnon takes it away, and Belouz will set things up for Villanova. Saw Theo Corte into the game, the junior from Accra, Ghana. Theo Corte and Seydou Shamsuddin, who's been dealing with some injuries, are two players from Ghana who have both made big impacts on this Villanova program. They both came from the Right to Dream Academy, which is in Ghana, and it is a academy that allows players an opportunity who are skilled at playing this game of soccer to realize opportunities and find a pathway to a possible professional career from that country. Both guys, of course, ended up in the United States as youths and as teenagers, and then both find themselves here playing at Villanova. Corte got to Villanova a little bit before Seydou Shamsuddin, a year before, but what has been interesting to read is that Corte, even though Shamsuddin credits having a guy like Corte from his native country of Ghana at Villanova, is one of the reasons why he chose Philadelphia and playing for the Wildcats. Corte said that even though he was very excited about the idea of Shamsuddin joining him at Villanova, he really wanted him to make the choice for himself, so he didn't want to bias Seydou Shamsuddin into making a choice just because he wanted him to come there. And I thought that was sort of an impressive quality that Corte had. The two guys now getting an opportunity to play together at Villanova, very different personalities. Coach Carlin for Villanova said, Seydou is like driving a convertible Corvette. Theo is like driving a minivan. And that was just to say that Seydou has a huge personality and Theo is a little bit more reserved, but says that both guys are definitely a welcomed addition to this Villanova team. And as anyone who follows college soccer knows, the players that comprise these teams sometimes are local players, but oftentimes are also guys that can come from anywhere. And so much international influence is on many college soccer teams, and these two no different. Villanova with an opportunity now, and that one kicked wide of the net and tries to ricochet back towards the middle of the field after a foul on DePaul, but Villanova did not get a shot. And then that one headed out of bounds by Feuderer. So Corte in the corner. Corner kick coming now from Theo Corte.
Checking in for the Wildcats, number 25, Marcus Prince. Taking the kick is Cortez.
Substitution on the field, which delayed it slightly, but now it'll be Corte with a corner kick. Never got it to the net, and that one is knocked away. De Bruyne kicks it back towards midfield. And now Villanova will try to restart things. Villanova's gotten a couple of corner kicks, but from an offensive standpoint, has not had too much going. DePaul has asserted itself a little bit more in this opening almost 35 minutes.
Substitutions for DePaul. Checking in with the game, number 13, Joe McGee. And number 20, Patrick Watkins. Replacing
Substitutions coming in for DePaul. And now Danny Iskra will throw it in. Joe McGee into the game, a freshman from Texas for the Blue Demons. Federer was trying to go back, and I believe they're going to get an offsides on Villanova. It's like Marcus Brennis got a little bit ahead of the last defender, and so DePaul gets the ball. But it's quickly taken back by Villanova. A lot of the last 6-7 minutes have been spent in DePaul's end of the field. Anderson boots that one high. A couple of guys go for a header. Now Anderson slips between two defenders, Watkins. And now DePaul will settle it down towards the middle of the field. De Bruyne, the last line of defense, but it's taken away now by Villanova. Marcus Brennis got in the way of that, and then Iskra back to Nelly. Nelly boots it high and towards the far side of the field and out. Warm day today here at Wish Field in Chicago. About 81 degrees and sunny. After the timeout, we see some substitutions have been made. But it has been beautiful here in the Windy City over the last week or so. And that even though we're approaching the fall, it still feels like summer. Watkins across the field as DePaul finally able to get it out of Villanova's end. Here's Watkins inside the 18, trying to make a move on net, but good defense right there from Villanova, and it's knocked away. Luca Meller, the captain for Villanova, with a nice defensive play to send that out. And now DePaul will have a corner kick coming. Jake Feuderer will have the opportunity to kick it here. Here's Carson Williams, one of the best keepers in the Big East. So Feuderer readies as DePaul spread out, but Villanova packed in near that goal line. Feuderer towards the middle, and that one is kicked high and over the net. He's trying to loft it over all the players that were stacked up in front of the goal line. And now Williams will have a chance to boot it out. And does so as Meller finding Bellows. And now Villanova able to reverse field. But it's quickly controlled by DePaul. And De Bruyne finding Patrick Watkins, who is coming over the last few minutes and showing some speed on the field now. Down the field it comes to McGee inside the 18. And that one booted, and now Schlentz will head it out of the 18. And then Benedictson sends it even closer to midfield. But DePaul trying to keep it in Villanova's end. And that goes out, and it'll be triggered back in by the Wildcats. Mark Forbes, the sophomore from Chatham, New Jersey, in the game for Villanova. Sean Teixeira. And now back into DePaul's end. Here's Teixeira. Worked on by Brickman. Corte went down, no call. Corte just straddling that end line, and it goes out. Under 5 minutes to go now in the first half of play. No score between DePaul and Villanova. And no real surprise because these two teams, as we've mentioned, are very staunch from a defensive standpoint. But neither team has been a great offensive club here, at least early in the season. Look at DePaul here in this early going. They have given up 8 goals over the last couple of matches, but Coach Mark Plotkin said that really it was that, once, at least in Tuesday's match against UIC, once Jacob Cito went out with that red card and then they were down from a personnel standpoint, that really hurt them from a defensive standpoint, and then from there, a few goals go in that you might not expect to go in. But before those matches, DePaul got a win here on September 9th by a 3-0 margin, won at Western Michigan by a 1-0 margin, and lost to Vermont 1-0. So they had played much better defensively prior to these last 2 matches, which they've dropped. Carson Williams thought about kicking it deep. Instead goes to Meller. Bradley across the field. Corte tried to corral it between 2 DePaul players, but knocked out by Brickman. And gets it past midfield. But Villanova cycles it back into the DePaul end. And then Calipari kicks it away from Teixeira. Sean Teixeira, the senior from Trumbull, Connecticut. He missed a couple of games with a leg injury. Part of that 2016 NCAA tournament team, which Villanova had, which was a magical year for them.
Good job.
Today for Villanova is their 3rd in a 3-match stretch away from home. Mentioned the losses to Penn State and to last year's national champion in Maryland. You can't be that frustrated when you lose 1-0 match to Maryland. So they really feel like, even though they lost the first 2 matches on this trip, they feel like they're playing good soccer. And now a whistle is a player down for DePaul. Zach El Shafai, no, that's Joe McGee. The freshman who played for the Dallas Texans Soccer Club down in Bourne, Texas. Known for his quickness, his pace, able to stretch defenses. He's out there. Clock stop with 2:11 left. DePaul with an opportunity here with Timmy Iskra as everyone lines up at the 18. Foul on Villanova, allowing DePaul an opportunity to see if they can get something going offensively here in the final 2 minutes and 11 seconds in the first half. Iskra lofts it in the air near the 6, and it was Bradley to head it. And they get it out towards the end line. But DePaul able to keep trying to get something going from an offensive standpoint here. Ramadan. And now that one kicked and kicked out. McCray drawing the freshman. Iskra yet again. 90 seconds to go here in this first half. Fires it in. And a header on net by De Bruyne. And a nice play by Carson Williams to leap up and grab it for the save. Down the field it comes. Nelly there to make the save after a scary lead play where McKinnon was bearing down on the keeper. Drew Nelly now. Kicks it well across midfield. He's trying to find McGee, but that one headed away by Bradley. Under 30 seconds to go here in this first half, and that one's now kicked out by Villanova, so DePaul will have it as McGee will trigger it in. Now he'll leave it for Iskra. 15 seconds, they're going to have to hurry. Iskra fires across, and Williams there to make the save as that one got over the head of De Bruyne, and that will end the first half here in Chicago. No score between DePaul and Villanova. It's been a defensive matchup all game long. Both these teams playing physically and trying to keep these guys out of their offensive ends. 3 shots on goal for DePaul, none for Villanova. And we'll be right back to Chicago after this with no score.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
To know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
and you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here, we do.
What is a Villanovan in 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders in these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
Back here at Wish Field, it's halftime and no score between DePaul and Villanova, as these two teams playing in a kind of match that we expected. No scoring through the first 45 minutes, but there were just 7 shots in the first half, 3 on goal for DePaul, none for Villanova, though the Wildcats did have a couple of corners. This is the first Big East game for these two teams. Let's take a look at the standings now in the Big East Conference. And this was last year's standings and the preseason poll. Georgetown obviously had a great year a season ago. As they're ranked 9th, they went 13-5-3. You see DePaul and Villanova at the bottom of the standings a season ago. They're both trying to change that this season, and that is why they were picked at the bottom of the conference in the preseason poll. Both teams feel they're better than that, and they both are intending to prove that as this season goes along. So hopefully those two teams will be able to be a lot better, but time now to check on the fall sports update, and that is with Megan Caffrey and John Fanta.
Welcome into the Big East Studios in New York City. I'm Megan Caffrey, joined alongside my partner, John Fanta. We welcome you into the first fall sports update of the season. We're so excited to be back.
Music to my ears after a successful non-conference play around the Big East. Now we've got several teams across the league that take momentum as the conference grind revs up, Megan, and that's what you need to get through it.
Let's waste no time and get into 3 things that you need to know around the conference, starting with field hockey. 3 Big East field hockey teams are ranked in this week's NFHCA poll. UConn checking in at number 4, Liberty at 13, and John, amidst a 4-game win streak, Old Dominion cracked the top 25 for the first time this season, coming in at number 22. In volleyball, 2 teams were in the top 20 this week. Creighton hitting a season best ranking, coming in at 15, and Marquette, who's only dropped 2 matches on the season, remains in the top 10 at number 8 this week. And John, women's soccer, they had some impressive non-conference wins.
They did. Georgetown is the cream of the crop in the Big East. Dave Nolan has built a national powerhouse. And for the Hoyas, they went through a changing of the throne in goal from Ariel Sheckman to now Anna Lee. The freshman's coming off a clean sheet, the first of her career, and it came against a tough opponent in a ranked West Virginia team that got shut down offensively at Shaw Field. For the Hoyas, they've got returning veterans. I think of Paula Germino-Watnick, Amanda Carolyn, and then you've got a freshman keeper who now has momentum as conference play inches closer. That is going to be a tough team to handle. But watch out for Butler. Watch out for Providence, too.
Let's turn to Big East men's soccer now. They had a really exciting non-conference season as well, and now things kick into gear with conference play starting up this weekend, and 3 teams are in the top 25 for Big East men's soccer.
And rightly so. For BE football, it got started on opening night. Big East men's soccer was ready from the get-go. I look at a 9-0-1 record on opening night. Xavier making a statement over then number 3 Akron, and that got the Musketeers national attention. Sometimes all it takes is one win, and for St. John's that was the case. They went to NC State, they challenged themselves, and got a victory. Their first over an ACC team since 2010. And then Georgetown, Brian Weiss's reigning Big East champions. The Hoyas went out west. UC Irvine, UCLA, they rolled past them, and then commanded UConn last weekend.
And John, you mentioned St. John's. They are off to a historic start for the season. They are ranked 9th this week. That is a program best for the Red Storm.
Such a steady sophomore class, only in their second years, but the Johnnies have several spark players that can deliver. Skage Simonson, Tani Olawashei, and a role change for Mr. Brandon Knapp from the back line into the midfield, and it's paying off.
And I actually chatted with Brandon Knapp about what's paying off for him personally and this Red Storm squad.
The number 9 St. John's Red Storm is off to its best start in program history at 6-0 after taking down Columbia. I'm now joined by midfielder Brandon Knapp, who scored 2 goals in the Red Storm's 5-1 victory Monday night. Brandon, you started off the scoring for your team in the second half. How did the offense really open up in the second?
Yeah, in the second half, we really got going. We created a lot of chances. I really think it started on the defensive end. You know, Coach always talks about our big thing is defensive effort and defensive intensity. I think we really picked it up there. We won a lot of balls in the midfield, got the ball forward early, and then we got the ball wide and got guys in the box like I did on the goal, and we finished off our chances. So I'm glad to see we got 5 goals. It was good.
Brandon, talking about that defense, looking at your goalkeeper situation this season, you have a tandem goalkeeper situation with Luca Gaffron and John Hoffman sharing the net. How has the dynamic been between the two of them?
Oh, the dynamic's great. They're both really working hard every day in practice. I really like having both of them back there. It's really good. They're both leaders from the back, starting, you know, it always starts in the back with communication. But they're doing really well and not letting out many chances, not letting out many goals. So I'm really happy with that.
Your team came in ranked number 9 in the latest polls this week. That's the first time St. John's has been in the top 10 in 6 years. What is behind your team's success?
Yeah, it's been really awesome. We've just been working hard every day. We have a lot of different guys who can play a lot of different positions, a lot of depth, which has really helped us. You know, starting from the coaches, they've just been preaching to work hard every day. You know, our preparation has been really good every game. Something that's been important for us, we've been finding a way to win every game. So whether we faced a lot of different challenges, a lot of different adversity, but we found a way. So it's been good for us.
When you say finding a way to win, what was the way that your team found to win against Columbia?
We just turned it on the second half. You know, we had a tough halftime talk after the first half was kind of slow, a little bit sluggish, but we just turned it around. The Columbia's a really good team, a lot of good players, as we saw. So we just created a lot of chances and really, grinded it out.
Brandon, you're only a sophomore, and this season you were named one of your team's captains. Where does that leadership come from?
I think I'm just a natural leader. You know, I really like being a leader a lot. There's a lot of different responsibilities, obviously, to take on as a sophomore. But I'm really enjoying it so far. You know, my other captains and I were doing a really good job so far. And I'm just loving being a leader of the team right now.
Last season, your team had the second highest total of freshmen on your squad in the nation. This year, 12 of your team's 15 goals have actually come from that sophomore class. How has your sophomore class grown from last season to now?
You know, I think we've grown a lot. You know, last year was a big step for us. We were freshmen, so kind of getting used to everything at first, but you know, we obviously have some experience now. We're really all coming together. We've developed a lot of different chemistry and stuff. So I think it's good for us to, you know, that we got 12 of the goals. It's really good.
How would you describe the overall chemistry of this year's team?
Oh, the chemistry is great. You know, we're a great group of guys. You know, everyone loves each other. We love coming to practice every day, hanging out with each other. So the chemistry is really good.
Who's probably going to keep practices the lightest? Who's the funniest on the team?
Funniest on the team got to be Kadeem Joseph. He's always got to make it light. Who else? Matt Forster. He's a funny guy. Maybe Johan Akulon, so one of the French guys. A lot of different funny guys. So
Any
always fun.
saying in a different language out on the field?
Oh yeah, we got a lot of different languages. You know, we got the Norwegians speaking to each other. Now we got 2 Germans. It's pretty cool to see the different cultures and stuff.
Your team will take on the 19th ranked Xavier squad this Friday on the Big East Digital Network. What are you looking forward to in opening up conference play, going in undefeated?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I know we're all excited. We're ready to go. Starting conference play, I'm really glad we came in undefeated. It's kind of send a message to the conference, but we're ready to go. I know Xavier's a really tough team. It's going to be a really tough game, just like every other game in the Big East, but we're ready to go.
What's that message that you're sending to the conference?
Just we're here. We're ready to go. You know, we're going to have a good season along with all the other teams, but we're ready to go.
Brandon, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
From our studios in New York City, he's John Fanta. I'm Megan Caffrey. Thank you for watching and enjoy the second half of your game.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
To know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
and you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here, we do.
What is a Villanovan? In 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders and these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
Once again, we want to thank the Screaming Demon Band for coming.
And we welcome you back to Wishfield here in Chicago as we get ready to begin the second half of play as the Big East schedule is underway here on the Big East Digital Network. The DePaul Blue Demons, as you see pictured there in their home whites here at Wishfield, trying to pick up a win in the opener of the second half of the season, or of the Big East schedule. And you take a look at the first half stats, and it was all DePaul from an offensive standpoint. Villanova did not get a shot or one on goal, and Carson Williams had to make 3 saves on DePaul scoring chances. Villanova 3 more fouls than DePaul, so it was a little bit of a physical first 45 minutes, but it was not 45 minutes that was marked by a ton of offense, which we did expect. That is sort of Villanova's game. And so now these two teams will come out for the second half, and I would imagine that Coach Carlin for Villanova feels pretty good about the fact that his team has kept this game 0-0 despite having no shots, but you know that they're going to want to get something going from the offensive end as you take a look at the Wildcats starting 11. And from DePaul's standpoint, they have to feel pretty good that despite probably not having the ball in Villanova's end quite as much as Villanova had it in DePaul's end, they were the ones that got the shots. And so we'll see if that changes here in the second half. Villanova starts with the ball. And quickly into DePaul's end of the field. Nice play right there by Braden Calipari, who falls down, but the Blue Demons keep it. Patrick Watkins in the first half, the sophomore from Silver Springs, Maryland. He didn't get a lot of time early in the beginning of the match, but then over the last about 15-20 minutes of the first half, really started to assert himself near midfield. Here's a kid who was one of 2 freshmen who played in every match a season ago as a first-year player. Watkins, 3 games so far this season coming into this one. So this is his 4th opportunity now in their 7th game of the year.
Taking a kick, Marcus Bruns.
But he's had a pretty good game so far, and the first corner kick opportunity will go as Brennis sends it in for Villanova. And that's Danny Iskra to head it out of bounds.
Here we go, Laurie.
Now Villanova near the corner, trying to get something near the center of the field, but it's knocked away by DePaul. Villanova takes it back with Balluz, but it trickles on by him, and then Danny Iskra kicks it off a Villanova player and out of bounds. So now Brennis, one of the freshmen, come back in. And that one's hit back towards the middle of the field, and now DePaul will try to reverse field with Jack Richards. Braden Calipari trying to get around to Shera, sends it back to the middle of the field. And now Timmy Iskra to Matt Brickman. And they'll come across midfield yet again. DePaul finally gets it into Villanova's end of the field. Back across the field it goes. But De Bruyne, really just the size that he has and his ability to head the ball away, has a lot of body control. He is clearly a difficult guy to get the ball behind. Has done a real nice job for DePaul so far today. Villanova trying to set things up from an offensive standpoint inside the 18, but a whistle as McKinnon was offsides. So Liam McKinnon's whistle has Drew Nelly with an opportunity to kick it away for the Blue Demons. Back up to midfield where Watkins tries to get around Corte, but it's taken away by Villanova. Opportunity here. As Evan Vare trying to kick it inside the 6, but knocked away by DePaul. Last year when these two teams played, it was a 1-0 match win for Villanova on the road. And that was on September 29th, so almost a year ago exactly. In 2016, when these two teams matched up, it was a 0-0 draw that was won on penalty kicks by Villanova. And in 16, after the Wildcats advanced past the Blue Demons, they went on to the NCAA tournament. So some history with these two clubs over the last few years. But this is just the 13th all-time meeting between DePaul and Villanova. Series dates back to 2007. The Wildcats are 7-4-2 all-time against the Blue Demons. Down on the field went Danny Iskra. A no call. Now Schlentz tries to power that one past his defenders. Kicked away out of the 18. And now Richards with a nice kick and a move to get it through midfield. There There's a shot, and Williams makes the save. Carson Williams, another save where he's had to keep this game tied as DePaul made a rush with El Shafai and Richards and Ramadan all coming up to the front. Neither team has had a whole lot of opportunities to stop a shot. Both teams have been very responsible from the defensive end of the field. And now another offsides, and so Nelly will have an opportunity to kick it away. Back near the middle of the field, Corte trying to settle it down. Meller off to Bradley. Shane Bradley through midfield. Kicks it near the corner, but it'll be run down by DePaul. For this DePaul Blue Demons team, Mark Plotkin, their head coach, said, you just have to focus on what they do well. Can't get too emotional. They felt like their emotions got the best of them on Tuesday in their match loss to city rival UIC. But he feels like because of the veterans they have in the back and the guys that they have with experience like DeBruyne, like Calipari, like Timmy Iskra, that these guys can lead this team and DePaul can take a step in year number 2 of his regime. Mark Plotkin, the 7th head coach in DePaul history. He was hired in December of 2017, of course, played for the Blue Demons from 2006 to 2009, so he's a young guy. Was most recently an associate head coach for Colgate. Was also an assistant at DePaul from 2012 to 13, so came back to take over this program and get it moving in the right direction. Year 1, you always feel like you want to see players buy in, and seeing them last year, they certainly bought in to what Coach Plotkin wants to do in terms of his vision for the team. Now the question is, can they start to turn more games into victories as that one bounces over the net? Villanova trying to get creative there. McKinnon trying to use him vertically. Nelly boots it away. Up to midfield, Bellows with the header. And then plunked in the air, but Bellows has it go right back to Williams, and he'll roll it away. So Nelly brings it out, sets it down for a kick. And Now DePaul trying to get ahead of the defense. Calipari tries to center, but went across the net and out. Richie Schlentz back there defensively for Villanova to try to send that one to the corner. And now DePaul will have another corner kick. Michael Anderson, you see the blonde locks. He's back into the game as Watkins goes out. Zach El Shafai will do the honors for the corner kick. Up in the air. Richards settles it down. Calipari up towards the net. Iskra the header, but it went the wrong direction on him. And now Schlentz punts it way up and out. And so the Blue Demons, they have 8 shots in this game, 4 on goal. Villanova now has a couple of shots in the game. But only 4 shots on goal total in this game, and they've all come from the Blue Demons. Now that one towards the net, and Jack Richards with a header that just goes high. Good opportunity for the Blue Demons. Let's take another look. El Shafai, the centering feed. Richards, just a little bit high. A nice opportunity from Jack Richards. The 58-minute mark when we get a real nice shot at the net, and now a whistle and a foul on Villanova. I believe that would go on to Shera. And so DePaul will trigger the play back in. 31 minutes to go. And regulation here at Wish Field. Corner kick coming for DePaul, and it'll be El Shafai again. I think you have to feel pretty good if you are DePaul about the way that, even though you haven't had a ton of time in Villanova's end, you've gotten chances in this game. This time El Shafai with a low one that gets stopped before the 6. Try to go back inside the 6 yet again, and it comes back out. This one near the net. Richards with a great stop by Villanova. Richards wanted a call, does not get it, and the ball comes back out. Boy, what a stop there. Richards thought there was going to be a penalty called against Villanova, but it is not. Iskra back outside midfield. De Bruyne to Anderson. And now the freshman trying to figure out if he's got an angle. Villanova will get a corner kick. Danny Iskra was trying to plead his case, but to no avail. And so now Villanova with the chance here. Marcus Brennis, the freshman from Wayne, New Jersey. There's the corner kick. And a whistle. Both teams were going for it. And a foul against Villanova, so Nelly will get to kick it away.
Go, Michael.
Nelly's boot. A big one, Corte there to meet it. Couple of headers back towards midfield. Who's going to win this scrum?
Substitutions coming in for Villanova.
So substitution now coming up. Anthony Dragicic, one of the freshmen for Villanova from Ellicott City, Maryland. Tom Carlin, the head coach of Villanova, said he stepped into the role vacated by Andres Camacho, the senior who's out for the year with an injury. And he's done a really nice job. Dragicic was the valedictorian of his high school class at Archbishop Curley in Maryland. His dad played soccer at North Carolina. And now another opportunity here for Villanova. A free kick coming for the Wildcats after a foul against DePaul. Brennis in towards the net, a header. Belus guarded tightly by Iskra. And then that shot gets deflected out towards the corner. Schlentz will throw it in. Belus with a header, and it comes right to Nelly. Easy play for him inside the 6. Corte spins around a defender. Villanova controls. Anthony Dragicic has already made an impact as a freshman. 4 games, 2 starts, a goal, an assist, 3 points. And that's what's got Tom Carlin so excited about this year's team, the 11th year veteran coach, and that's one of the reasons why he feels like that preseason ranking, which puts Villanova at the bottom of the Big East, he doesn't feel like is going to even be close to representative of what his team can be. I think we've already seen that they started 4-0 on the year. Now Nelly had to dive to make a stop there, almost an opportunity for Villanova, but it goes out. That one kicked over the net. The 4-0 start to the year for Villanova was their best since 2012. That team matched the 1980 team's wins record with 12 wins that season. Take a look at the replay, that header right over the net. Evan Vare missing high. Brickman now, middle of the field. Back towards De Bruyne. Iskra off to Anderson, and now Iskra with a high kick towards the middle of the field. Headed back over the center line. Now quickly racing across for DePaul was Richards, and McRae drawing, but now a shot from Villanova goes well wide from Corte. Went down awkwardly there, but appears to be okay. And the clock is stopped with 23 minutes and 31 seconds to go. A hydration break coming for these two teams. Still no score here in Chicago. DePaul and Villanova all knotted up. We'll be right back here to Wish Field, and you're watching Big East Soccer, the conference opener here on the Big East Digital Network.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
What is a Villanovan in 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders in these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
Do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
What is a Villanovan in 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50.
Teams have finished their hydration break, and we continue soccer action this afternoon here at Wish Field. I'm Jordan Burnfield. Thanks for joining us here on the Big East Digital Network. 23 minutes to go in regulation. No score between DePaul and Villanova. These two teams have played a very physical affair at times, but 25 total fouls in this game so far, but there have only been 5 shots on goal. DePaul with 4 and Villanova with 1. 17 shots in total in this match between two teams that have said they want to be really staunch defensively, and they have. There really have not been any close calls in this match to this point. A couple of shots that went high over the net and some saves from Carson Williams, but none where he has really had to extend himself, and Drew Nelly has only had 1 shot on goal to worry about. Throw in from Villanova. Benedictson tried to head it. And now Villanova may have an opportunity here, and a nice diving save by Nelly outside of the net, but at the end of the 6-yard box. And so now Nelly, after an athletic play, will roll it out to try to get DePaul onto the other end of the field. Villanova takes it back. Here's McKinnon. Kicks towards the middle, and Nelly dives to make the save, but the ball rolls wide. And now DePaul wants a call they won't get. Villanova will throw it in. And Brennis had an opportunity to kick it on net, but kicks it wide. You see McKinnon, nice effort, but Drew Nelly was all over it, and then the ball went wide.
Substitution for DePaul, returning to the game, number 6, Braden Calipari.
Braden Calipari comes back into the game for the Blue Demons. Drew Nelly waiting back to kick it away. This girl with a nice move, and now Feuderer on the attack. Feuderer from the 18-yard box tried to kick it towards the middle. Knocked away, and Villanova able to recontrol with Corte. Now Villanova may have an opportunity here. Here's Ver. And that one kicked away by De Bruyne. Nice play from a defensive standpoint. Evan Ver got near the 6. And De Bruyne was able to make a nice play to really erase that one from ever getting too close as we dip under 20 minutes remaining in regulation. DePaul trying to get inside the 18-yard box, but Villanova keeps them out, and now will come back across the field as that one's booted away. One thing that Coach Carlin of Villanova had said was that he wants his team, from a strategy standpoint, to try to throw the ball deep, see if they can create a sort of breakaway, quasi-breakaway, and generate a few more offensive chances. We've not really seen a whole lot of that today, because they've only gotten one shot on goal. From the DePaul standpoint, they know that Villanova is a really good defensive team. Coach Mark Plotkin with a lot of plaudits for Villanova's group, and said that they know that they're going to have to be staunch defensively because they were going to have to match what Villanova would do, and they've done that today. DePaul has been very good from a defensive standpoint. But Villanova trying to threaten and change that here. One goal you feel like is going to win this match. Whoever scores first very likely could end up winning this thing. Yusuf Ramadan came back into the game just into the 70th minute. Jack Richards came out. Bellews is grabbing his leg. Let's take a look at it again. Ooh, he's grabbing his face. He got hit by Matt Brickman. And so because of that, now Liam McKinnon will have an opportunity for a kick. Everyone's setting up in the middle of the field. after the foul against Brickman and DePaul. McKinnon. Vera kind of whiffed on the shot, and it comes back out, and DePaul will race across with it. Here's McGee with a head of steam, and he's tripped up. McKinnon. And then McKinnon goes down, and the flag flies. Look at the speed of McGee. And then the foul. Young McGee is really a fast player. Jake McGee, the freshman, who is definitely making an impact. The freshmen are getting an opportunity to play for both of these clubs. You might say, well, both teams have had their struggles the last couple of years, and so you want to give opportunities to young players, but that certainly also makes it attractive to recruits. You're going to come in and you're going to get an opportunity right away. And they're showing that they are going to give opportunities to young players. And with just over 15 minutes to go here, these players are getting in there and showing what they can do.
Substitutions coming in for Villanova, number 6, Connor Bradley. Back in the game for the Blue Demons.
So Connor Bradley has come in for Villanova, the twin brother of Shane, who has been on the field for a lot of this game. Connor Bradley, 6 foot, 165-pound senior. Zach El Shafai back into the game as well. There's a player down on the field for DePaul, away from the play. The play is not yet stopped. And now he is up. It was El Shafai who went down awkwardly, but is staying on the field. Schlentz will throw it in for Villanova. Goes up in front. Nelly has to bash it away. So Drew Nelly getting a little more work here as Villanova, as the clock is ticking down, starting to assert itself more on the offensive side. Here's Benedictson. Corte straddling the line, trying to split defenders, and he's knocked away by Feuderer. McKinnon's shot goes high over the net. Lion McKinnon with another shot, team leader in shots coming into this game today, but that one was well high. Scrum near midfield for the ball. DePaul wanted a call that they would not get there. Danny Iskra heads it out. A throw-in coming for Villanova. 12.5 minutes left in regulation, and we have yet to see a ball go into the net. There's the throw-in. Villanova able to keep it in DePaul's end. Corte racing to the corner, able to stop the ball from going out. Kicks it towards the middle, a header, and Nelly makes a great save. Drew Nelly trying to pump up his teammates after a tremendous save and a threat right there from Villanova. Corte with the kick. A strong header by McKinnon. And he threw his hands onto his head as he could not believe that great save by Drew Nelly. But time is ticking away in regulation. DePaul and Villanova both trying to snap 2-game skids. This Blue Demons team has responded extremely well from a defensive standpoint today after they had given up 8 goals over the last 2 games against UIC and Loyola combined. Villanova doing what it does every game, plays games like this. Cortez' shot was redirected by Feuderer. Other than their first match of the year, which Villanova won 5-0 against Delaware. Every single other match they've played has been 1-0, either in their favor or out of their favor. The last 2 out of their favor, but the first 3 in their favor. Corner kick. Headed away by DePaul. Brickman got it out that time. This time another header and a save. Ballew's near the net. Villanova had a chance, could not get it into the net. A very close opportunity for Villanova. And now a whistle. And a foul against the Wildcats and Benedictson. Wow, look at this sequence. There's the header from Connor Bradley, the save by Nelly, and then Ballew's tried to send it back to him in the middle of the field, but Bradley then descended upon by Blue Demons, and they could not get a shot away. Connor Bradley already 1 goal this year. And 1 assist. That would have been huge because at this point now, under 9 minutes to go, there's just so little time left in this match that you feel like whoever scores is winning the game. If neither team scores in regulation, there will be a brief timeout. There are 2 overtime periods that could be potentially played, each of which would be 10 minutes. If neither team scores after 2 overtimes, we would just officially end in a draw. Pretty good crowd on hand today here in Chicago. Beautiful Friday afternoon for some Big East soccer. Brickman knocked that one out, and so Villanova will throw it in again. Cortez got it for the Wildcats. Villanova's gotten right on the doorstep over the last few minutes. DePaul really has not had a close chance in the last few. Here is Lion McKinnon on the 18, tried to boot it towards the net, knocked away by De Bruyne.
Corner kick for the Wildcats.
So a corner kick coming up for Villanova. The last couple have been a little bit dangerous. And Theo Corte has done a real good job on these corner kicks to try to find a dangerous angle for the Wildcats. Corte's kick. Connor Bradley trying to get it close. There's a kick. It's slightly wide. Benedictson tries to center it. McKinnon now outside the 18, tries to boot towards the middle. Anderson, the header, to knock it away. And Iskra controls it and kicks it out of harm's way. DePaul playing a lot of defense here over the last few minutes. Mark Plotkin's team trying to keep Tom Carlin's team from scoring what would likely be the winner. Patrick Watkins comes back in. Matthew Brickman will go out. Here comes Corte with a head of steam. Towards the middle, Brennis tried to feed in front. Iskra, Timmy right there to kick it away. And now Nelly has to jump out as a near breakaway opportunity for Connor Bradley results in Nelly diving on the soccer ball. Iskra kicks it away and out of bounds, so Villanova will throw in. Under 5 minutes in regulation. Now a whistle, player down to the field. That is Zach El Shafai, who's been beaten up a little bit in this game. There's been a couple of times where El Shafai's had to stretch out his calf, or he's been kicked, or something has occurred where he has had to deal with an injury. And so let's take a look as he's going to get stretched out by the training staff. This was the last real opportunity as Corte's shot headed by Connor Bradley, and how about Drew Nelly saving what looked to be a sure goal for Villanova. That's the difference in this game to this point. Corte with a real good attempt, and Connor Bradley with a nice job of being able to head it. But it did not go because Drew Nelly made an outstanding save. And so this works out as an opportunity to get the teams hydrated. And you take a look at the opening day in Big East football. And you've got number 19 Xavier taking on number 9 St. John's. That game tonight at 7 Eastern time. Third-ranked Georgetown is taking on Butler this evening. Seton Hall and Providence before Creighton and Marquette, the later game this evening. So all the fans of Big East soccer, you got a big day ahead of you. Lots of action beginning on this first Friday of conference play. As play resumes here at DePaul, Big East opener between the Blue Demons and the Villanova Wildcats. Here's Corte in the corner, trying to get around Feuderer. Corte centers, Bellows. And now Meller in towards the net, and that one's headed over by Brennis. Nice idea as Luca Meller with a real nice play to get that ball to the front, but then Brennis over the net. Just over 3.5 minutes remaining in regulation. Will either team have a flurry or some kind of offensive attack that could result in a winning goal? Here's Ver. And now back across midfield comes Villanova. Trying to get in front of DePaul's defense, but they cannot. Back near midfield, Bellows. Spinning away from defender is Luca Meller, the captain. Now just about 2.5 minutes left. And the play mostly near midfield. Well, in Villanova's last match, which came against Maryland, the only goal in the match was scored in the 76th minute. It was Ben DeRosa for Maryland that scored the game-winning tally. Tom Carlin said, "I'm really proud of everything but the result." Well, will he be proud of the result tonight? Let's see. Opportunity for Villanova. Kicked near the front, but it's knocked away. Ver was trying to center for Bradley. And now they're trying again. Put towards the middle. Bradley, no. Corte misses just on the doorstep. Theo Corte on the right side, just a little bit high. Brennis the feed, Bradley the header, and then Corte hits the post. Oh, got very close. With 96 seconds remaining in regulation. Drew Nelly. That one goes off of Dragicic. And now DePaul with a potential opportunity. They kick it into Villanova's end. DePaul trying to get through, but still near midfield. 1:05 to go. And there's a trip. So a foul against Villanova with 1:02 left. And there, bring out a yellow card. Ver knocking down Braden Calipari. And Calipari still on the field, making sure he's okay. The yellow card against Evan Ver. The 7th yellow card of the year against Villanova. DePaul, by comparison, has 12 entering today. Kicked across. Under a minute to go in regulation. And the Blue Demons muster up something offensively when most of the play over the last 10 to 15 minutes has been in their own end. And Drew Nelly having to save the day. Nelly now has seen 16 shots and 4 on goal. after Villanova didn't have a shot on goal until well into the second half. We're here in this 90th minute, just 36 seconds remaining in regulation. Are we headed to an extra period? Here is Corte outside the 18. Kicks it off of Futerer and out. 20 seconds. Corte racing to try to make a corner kick here. 12 seconds. Corte's kick. A header goes up in the air. 5 seconds. And we are going to overtime. 90 minutes could not decide this match between DePaul and Villanova. We will have an extra session coming up here at Wish Field in Chicago. Stay with us. Overtime in the Big East opener coming up next.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
What is a Villanovan in 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders in these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
We do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
What is a Villanovan in 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders in these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
and you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
What is a Villanovan in 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders and these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
and you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
Bonus soccer today here at DePaul at Wish Field in Chicago. I'm Jordan Burnfield with you. Thanks for joining us. 0-0 the score as we go to the extra session. 4 shots on goal apiece in this match. And you take a look at the end of regulation stats. Villanova ended up getting more shots, which was not the case early in this game. They didn't have any shots at halftime. In the second half, they really were able to blitz DePaul, and the Blue Demons with Drew Nelly were able to survive to get to this point. Each team with 1 card, and 18 fouls against Villanova to 13 for the Blue Demons. And so here's where we stand as we get set to begin this overtime period. Now, the overtime rules are as follows. There's going to be one 10-minute period that begins now. If neither team scores, there would be a second 10-minute period, and then if neither team scores after that, then it would be considered a tie. Now, whoever scores first wins this soccer match. So if a goal is scored at any point, that's it. So we will see what happens now, who gets the victory, or perhaps whether these teams draw in their opening match of Big East play here in 2019. The Youssef Ramadan to trigger the ball in, and here we go. Overtime begins. Last year, DePaul had 3 ties. Villanova had 2. DePaul had 2 in Big East play, while Villanova had 1. DePaul trying to get one into the win column against Villanova after the Wildcats have won the last 2. And in today's 13th all-time meeting between these two soccer teams, with a series that dates back to 2007, Villanova has won 7 of the matches. Just 2 of the first 12 have finished in a draw, but we could be heading there today if neither team is able to score. And so now overtime beginning with both teams trying to figure out some way to get in towards the net. And that ball kicked wide of the net. Carson Williams never had to make a play on it. But DePaul just wants to get something going from an offensive standpoint. So now Carson Williams will have his opportunity to kick it away. Marcus Brennis goes out. Sean Teixeira back in for Villanova. Williams, the high boot towards midfield. If they can make Williams work here in this overtime, that would be big for DePaul. They did in the first half a little bit. But in the second half, particularly the last 15, 20 minutes, it was all Villanova. They were getting opportunity after opportunity. A couple of chances you thought they might actually score. The biggest play was when Theo Corte on a corner kick centered one for Connor Bradley. And Bradley, while he headed it well towards the net, Drew Nelly made a nice sort of lunging save, which stopped it. And DePaul did have one other chance to score, but could not in front, or rather Villanova did. And so now DePaul, after playing really good defense, trying to get something where they can get anything towards the net to try to score, because it's been a while since they've had a real good scoring chance. Villanova trying to get in deep. And Evan Vare kicks that one high and over the net. Liam McKinnon, always that first guy that's getting up close to the net. Leading on the attack. Kicked back up towards midfield, and now DePaul trying to move it across. Racing over to get it is Braden Calipari. Puts it in close towards the net. Right there is Dragicic to knock it back towards midfield, and then McKinnon to Vare. Teixeira on a leading pass. And McKinnon was trying not to get an offside there, but Nelly will kick it away. Near midfield, both teams jockeying for position and to try to kick that ball. And now Anderson writhing on the field. Michael Anderson gets back up, appears to be okay. And now a kick coming for DePaul, so everybody walls up right at the 18. Zach El Shafai and Jake Feuder are both standing at the ball. El Shafai kicks it forward, knocked away. Anderson, and that one's booted out. And then finally knocked down the field by Schlentz. McKinnon was trying to get out in front. Nelly back towards the center of the field. And that one goes out at midfield. Under 5 minutes to go, and this time it is for good. This is the second overtime period. So even if nobody scores, it will end in a draw at the end of these 4.5 minutes. Two teams that have fought very hard today in the Big East opener, and I think both teams are going to come away with this, or away from this, feeling pretty good, regardless of result. They went to double overtime. They both played pretty well defensively. Villanova a little better on the attack, perhaps, than DePaul, but still, both teams have given themselves a chance. And after trying seasons a year ago, in the Big East. I think both teams have things to build on in this one. Here is Schlentz from outside on the left. Benedictson now trying to get around his defender. There's a trip. .3:18 left. Brennis and Schlentz looking at a wall of Feuderer and El Shafai. And flanking them in the back is McRae drawing. Here comes the kick. And that one booted high over the net. Headed up and over.
That'll be a corner kick for the Wildcats.
And so a corner kick for Villanova. Brennis will kick this one. Corte had done a real nice job on the corner kicks in the second half. Brennis sends it in front. Headed off in front by DePaul. There's another kick and a nice save by Nelly. Ball loose in front. Ball comes out and back towards midfield. Drew Nelly's had a couple of big plays in this one, and that was one. And now Nelly makes the save again as that one's kicked from the far side by Schlentz. The shot blocked, and Drew Nelly doing a good job inside his net. He's had a very nice game today. Now it's across the field. Carson Williams gobbles it up. Into Paul's end. 1:17 left in the second overtime. Will we end in a draw, or will there be some heroics here late? Down under a minute. Nelly will kick it away. In the middle of the field, down under 40 seconds to go. Will either team get another shot to win this match? Here's El Shafai attacking. Goes to the ground. And a foul against Villanova. 15 seconds left. Everybody's walling off quickly. DePaul will have a chance. Here's El Shafai. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. And the clock is running out. They're going to have to reset our clock here. Looks like 9 seconds on the official game clock. Here in this second overtime. Here we go. El Shafai, the kick. Out in front, knocked away by Villanova. Ball loose, kick to the center of the field, and it's going to end in a draw. Villanova and DePaul played 110 minutes of soccer, and it could not be decided with a goal. It ends with the final score, DePaul 0 and Villanova 0. Both teams with a great defensive effort. They come away with a draw in the opening game of the Big East schedule. Thanks so much for watching this afternoon. My name is Jordan Burnfield, and we hope you enjoyed this broadcast on the Big East Digital Network. Thanks so much for joining us, and have a great rest of your Friday. Once again, the final DePaul 0, and Villanova 0. Good night.